stand.
Morten DK.
King of Denmark.
He's back again.
And he's no longer angry.
And he's with the Drupal Association.
Let's watch now. Okay, Morten, great to see you again. We met last year in Denver.
In front of a bar.
In front of a bar, exactly. Here we are in front of the Code of Conduct.
Yeah.
A lot has changed in the past year. In the past year, you know, you were the angry themer.
Yes.
You were the King of Denmark. You still are that.
I think I still am, yes.
Are you still an angry themer?
Kind of-ish. We've been working on getting Trick into Drupal, and that will pretty much change the way the theme system works.
Oh, but you're also now a member of the Drupal Association, the board. How is that going?
Okay, so that's been really, really fun. So one of my biggest points about the board were before it was really hard for people outside to understand what is even going on. I mean, there was like no real post about stuff. It was hard for anybody who was not like in the inner circle to understand what was going on. And it felt in many ways like the Drupal Association became this group of people nobody knew about and had no voice, but they were deciding on a lot of things.
Off in the ivory tower.
Yeah. Which was not really true, but it felt that way. And so one of my things that I really wanted to do something about was changing that idea. Why do we not speak about what we're discussing? Why are we not talking about these things? Why does it seem to be secret all the time? Why is it that we are afraid of the community? Which is dumb because the same people who are sitting at the board is also a part of the community. It's not like we have 20 people from the outside coming and saying what we should do, because that's not how it works out. When the DA started, that was back in 2007. At that same point, 2006 or 2007, that was when the Mambo project, Mambo went to be Joomla. And the kind of thing that happened there was that they had this governance body that was suddenly want to change the whole project. So the DA at that point was very afraid of getting into any kind of clinch with them. The thing is, though, that nothing in the code is a thing the Drupal Association want to touch about. The whole idea is that the DA makes the machine work. I mean, book a venue like this. We make sure that we have a server, we have the light, all of that stuff. So that was going on. At the same time, it was kind of like you got paranoid of the community, because every time somebody could hear anything that they were against, they would scream and shout out. So it was always this huge amount.
There's always people complaining after every event and
all of this stuff. And I kind of guessed the whole thing I mean, so it just turned into also be kind of a bad culture the DA had.
Like trolling almost.
Yeah, and also that the DA reacted like it always like, no, we are not. So communication just went bad. And then actually Holly, who comes over, came in at the new ED and really changed a lot of these things. And the board also began to change the way of doing it. I mean, we went from having a couple of blog posts after the camera. Here she is. Holly, come in.
You're on camera.
Hello. I'm glad I took my mustache off then.
Yes. But you have a beer in your hand in front of the Code of Conduct.
Well, it's okay that I drink the beer, but I just have to keep, know my limits.
Yes.
So no dongles and no like...
No dongle jokes. No dongle jokes.
Can I make them?
I'm going to leave now, and then you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
Good to see you again, Morten. What are you guys doing?
We're talking about, actually, we met last year.
Talking about the evolution of front-end developers in the Drupal community and Morten's role.
And the fun part of seeing the DA board going from being complete, like nobody knew what was going on, to you suddenly beginning to do blog posts about stuff we were doing, and then live tweeting directly this time for the meeting when accidentally insulted every American. That we were 10 minutes into the meeting.
You know that was totally on purpose and not accidental at all, right?
I don't know, but it worked good because there was a whole post about DrupalCon, and I went on, hey, what about Europe, blah, 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 and then Holly did something like rolling her eyes or something, and then it just, my backyard is older than your country. And then Bessa so the Europeans in the room were like, whoa, it's on.
Yes, to be fair, as soon as he opens his mouth, I roll my eyes. It's not just because he's talking about Europe.
Oh, so that kind of, it's a dynamic that's really been changed in that. It's pretty, I mean, I set out as a mission I thought I would be fighting at each meeting with two axes in my hand and just going like, on. And I figured out like 24 hours into my first meeting, we are actually kind of agreeing on all of the same things. We might not just agreeing about how to do it. I mean, let's just say things.
I think that's exactly the right point, Morten. I feel like you could say to anyone in this room, like, do you want Drupal to be bigger? Do you want it to be better? Do you want more websites built on Drupal? And every one of the 3,300 people here would say, yeah, we want more Drupal. And then the question is, like, how do you actually do that? That's when we start getting into, weird territory, because we are so diverse. But
very diverse.
We have to have the conversations. We have the conversations.
And one of the amazing things about Drupal is transparency, and the importance, the vitality of the community, and the energy of the community. This is just an incredible
we did
journey.
this warm-up thing at the last meeting where it's like, so what did Drupal mean to you? What is the best thing? And I was like the last man at night. I was like, okay, let me take notes, figure out who we're going to take to the wall in the revolution place, right? I mean, who are the traders here? Who's not into the community? And even the business guys was like, well, the thing is, well, of course, seeing your business grow, all that stuff. But there was this magic thing that happened with all these people. I mean, I used to be a very angry front-end developer. I should have left this project at least 5 times.
Are you going to have a new session called
Happy
Puppy and Kitten Themer?
Maybe. I don't know.
Are we going Unicorns Themer?
Unicorn themers?
Let's hug it out Themer?
Let's hug it out.
Do you think as Drupal gets larger, as the community gets larger, as the adoption gets larger, will it be harder, do you think, to maintain the tightness sense of community?
I don't think it'll be harder, it'll just be different, right? Because one sense of community is, look, we all fit in the room, right? And I mean, you saw us this morning with the group photo. We could barely all fit in the giant foyer to get the group photo done, right? We didn't all fit in the room for the keynote, right? So the sort of we all fit in the room, tight-knit community feeling, we're not going to be able to foster that, right? That's just going to change. And there's no way around that. If we actually do want Drupal to be as successful as we all want it to be, it's just got to get bigger, right? That's one of those things. And I don't believe in, it's just got to be bigger for bigger's sake, right? But it will need to get bigger. And bigger in 2 ways. One, because there are more developers developing and making Drupal sites, and bigger because we're also including the end users in the community, right? The people who are actually purchasing the product and trying to use it.
The content strategists,
the content strategists. Yeah, exactly.
If that doesn't send a message.
Exactly. We need those people in the room to make Drupal successful, right? So the community has to get bigger. So we're not going to get that same sense of closeness, right? So we're going to have to work harder to find other ways to develop that, for sure.
Nick, that was amazing.
Stan, it's incredible, this community, this was completely unplanned, that we could interview the 2 members of the Drupal Association board just on the spot. This is the transparency and the accessibility is absolutely amazing.
Just terrific. Keep on coming back for videos from DrupalCon Portland 2013.